My wife Lisa told me she should have married my twin brother Kyle at our 5th anniversary dinner. Not as a joke, not in anger, just stated it like she was ordering dessert. Said Kyle had more ambition, better hair, stronger jaw. We're identical twins, but she insisted Kyle wore it better. When I asked if she was serious, she said I knew what I was when she married me, a consolation prize. She dated Kyle first for 3 months in college before he dumped her for someone else. 2 years later, she met me at a party, thought I was him, started flirting. By the time she realized I was the other twin, we'd been talking for hours. She said she figured I was close enough, been telling me I was close enough for 5 years. Lisa turned comparing me to Kyle into her favorite hobby. At every family dinner, she'd mention Kyle's promotion while I was still at the same job. When Kyle bought a house, she asked why we were still renting when my twin could afford property. Started calling Kyle for everything. Leaking faucet, call Kyle. Weird car noise, call Kyle. Need furniture assembled, definitely call Kyle. He'd come over while I was at work, fix things I could have handled on weekends. She'd cook him elaborate lunches as payment, meals she never made for me. Post pictures on social media, thanking her amazing brother-in-law for saving the day again. Her friends started joking that she married the wrong brother. She never corrected them. When our son was born, she wanted to name him Kyle. Said it was a strong name. I suggested other names, but she insisted. Said I was being weird about honoring family. So our son is Kyle Jr., except there's no senior, because Kyle isn't his father, at least not technically. 6 months ago, Lisa started scheduling Kyle's visits for when I wasn't home on purpose. Told me he worked better without distractions, that I made him uncomfortable by hovering. I wasn't hovering. I was living in my own house. She bought him his own key, said it was easier than her always answering the door. Started finding his coffee mug in our sink, his jacket on our coat rack, his shoes by our door. When I mentioned it felt weird, she said I was being insecure about my successful brother. Her sister visited and asked why Kyle's toothbrush was in our bathroom. Lisa said he sometimes needed to freshen up after doing heavy work. What heavy work required teeth brushing was never explained. Our son started calling Kyle Fun Daddy, and me, Work Daddy, because Kyle was always there playing while I was gone. Lisa didn't correct him. 3 weeks ago, I came home early with a migraine to find Lisa and Kyle in the kitchen. Not doing anything wrong, just standing too close while she laughed at something he'd said. She was wearing the dress I bought her for our anniversary, the one she'd said was too nice for regular wear. Kyle was eating a sandwich she'd made, cut diagonally the way she knew I liked, but never did for me anymore. They jumped apart when I walked in. Lisa said Kyle had fixed the garbage disposal. I checked later, it had never been broken. Started coming home at random times, always found evidence Kyle had just left. Fresh cologne smell, 2 coffee cups, his favorite snacks in our pantry. Lisa got angry, said I was becoming paranoid and controlling, that Kyle was family, and I was treating him like a threat. Started a fight about trust, while wearing earrings Kyle had complimented at Christmas. Yesterday was my birthday. Lisa forgot, didn't even pretend to remember, but Kyle showed up with a gift, nice watch he'd picked out. Lisa gushed about how thoughtful he was, how he always remembered important dates. That's when I told them both I'd gotten a promotion. Big one, senior management, double my salary. Lisa's face lit up for the first time in months. Started talking about houses we could buy, vacations we could take, how proud she was. Kyle went quiet. Then he told us his news. He'd been fired 3 weeks ago. His company discovered he'd been stealing client funds, small amounts over years. His house was being foreclosed. His car was getting repossessed. He needed to move back with our parents, but they'd said no. Lisa's face went through 17 expressions. Asked him to repeat himself. He explained he'd been using the money to fund his lifestyle, that his promotion had been fake, just a title he'd given himself. The expensive clothes, the house, the car, all built on theft. He was looking at prison time. Lisa turned to me and asked about my promotion details. When I started explaining, Kyle interrupted to ask if we had room for him to stay. Lisa said absolutely not. Kyle reminded her of all the times he'd helped her, all the repairs, all the favors. She said those weren't favors if he was using them to case our house for things to steal. He insisted he'd never steal from family. She laughed, said stealing from strangers wasn't better. Kyle looked at me for support, but I was busy watching my wife realize she'd spent 5 years worshiping a fraud. She asked him to leave. When he was gone, she tried to apologize. I told her I needed space to think about our marriage. She said that was fair, but asked about the promotion money first. Some prizes aren't consolation after all.